it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today. I apologise for the lighting up front. I'm filming this in the late afternoon, early evening, and I was hoping to get it done sooner, but I was expecting a delivery and it's only just arrived, so boom, boom, boom. Anyway, this is today's project. It is teeny weeny weeny. It's the smallest box I think I've made ever. It has a wrap, which, because I've tied it in a knot, I now can't untie. However, I should be able to slide it off. She says, famous last words, and inside is a piece of candy. I was gifted these by a friend of mine, so I thought I would do something with them. So I thought they would make quite a nice little table gift, the little box, or of course you could hang it on a tree because it's small enough to go on a tree as well, and you could just tie a loop at the top. So let me show you how it's made. It's a scoreboard one, so let me get out the Simply Scored and make sure that you can see the top of it. I'm using the Year of Cheer here, and I'm using the Year of Cheer paper again here. It's a tiny weeny piece of paper. It's 4.5 by 3.5, and gently you need to score at 1/2 inch, 2 inches, 2.5 inches, and 4 inches, and then turn it and score it at 1/2 inch and 2.5 inches. As ever, the measurements will be on my blog. The post is linked directly below. What I would say is that this is not one I'm going to convert into metric. So as the metric trimmer has inches on, and as the scoreboard you buy with inches on, I think this is one where you just have to embrace it as a unit. But yeah. There are moments when life is too short, and at the moment, life is too short. So I'm just going to fold these. I'm not going to burnish them because I don't want to scratch the gorgeous paper. So I am just going to fold on the score lines. It will come together like that. This is the top where the inch is. The 1/2 inch is the bottom. You just need to decide which is going to be your front, and for me that is this. So I need to lose everything on the inch side apart from this flap here. So I am going to just notch in there, cut straight up. The lighting really is appalling, I do apologise. I wonder if it's going to be better if I put that on. Possibly, it's almost too bright now. But let's see if that's, yeah, I think that might be better. So I'm just cutting straight up the fold line, and then I'm going to get rid of all of the rest of this flap. And then, having decided that this is the part where my adhesive is going to be, I'm just going to wedge that out a bit. And then I'm just going to, as ever, cut up and cut away the fold, and again cut up and cut away the fold, cut up and cut away the fold, and this is really just to keep it all neat. You could just go straight up, but I do like to just neaten everything off a bit, get rid of those bits. So that is what you end up with. I'm going to round the corner. The only corner rounder that we have these days is on our envelope punch board, but it's a gorgeous corner rounder. It's a lovely arc, so none the worse for being on the envelope punch board. So that is that. I'm then going to bring in my 1/8 handheld punch, and then just by eye, I'm going to punch a hole. I don't want it to be too high up, actually. Come back a bit. So I want it about 1/3 up, or 2/3 down, depending on how you look at it. So I'm going to apply adhesive to this, and then because This is my front. That's going to fold back. So I need adhesive on the inside of this and the outside of that. So I'm going to use Fast Fuse and just add my Fast Fuse to, oops, it's a very new Fast Fuse, and it's just not playing quite as I would like it to at the moment, but that's a bit better. So all we do to get that to line up is fold it flat on top, and as if by magic it lines up, and as if by magic, of course, unless you're very careful, you do what I've done and stick everything together. Fold in your sides, fold in the back, and then fold the front to the back, and that's the piece with the adhesive on, and then just with your bone folder get in there and make sure that those two bits are stuck together. Then pop your fingers just into the side there and just help it to crease, and then that is the basis of your box or pouch or whatever you want to call it. So let's pop another piece of candy in, and there we go. And for dimensions, we are looking at the base is 1/2 inch by 1.5 inches, and the side is 2 inches, so it's 2 by 1.5 by 1/2, so it is very, very, very small. And then to tie this one together, I'm actually going to use the blue crinkled seam binding, creased seam binding, crinkled, can't remember what it's called. Anyway, this, it's the Night of Navy, and this copper are just gorgeous together. So yeah, this is just an arbitrary length, which I'm then going to just, this time maybe tie in a bow. If I can, I need another hand, I think. So, weather report whilst I'm doing this. Oxfordshire, like a lot of the UK, had snow over the weekend. It was very sudden for Oxfordshire. We'd been told we were going to get high winds and heavy rain, instead of which we had no wind at all and heavy snow. So that was a surprise. Woke up on Sunday morning with snow on the ground. Today, which is, I'm filming this on Monday, it's been cold all day, but actually hasn't snowed. It tried raining earlier, which was lovely, so the snow that's on the ground is now melting nicely and becoming mush. And the forecast for tonight is -9 degrees. So I think we're going to have a lot of ice tomorrow morning, and I think I will be avoiding going out in my car. I'm going to cut this sort of at an angle. This is not the easiest ribbon to cut straight because it's crinkled, but we will give it as good a go as we can. Because it's crinkled, it actually doesn't matter too much if it's not brilliantly cut. But there we go. In the original, I stamped the Merry Christmas, which comes from the Seasonal Chums. It's nice and little. I stamped this in archival grey. To go with the copper, I think I'm going to grab soft suede, which is quite a good match for copper. And I'm just going to grab a scrap, and this is a scrap that I use for, it's an offcut for when I'm cutting my mats. So it really is a scrap. And I've got my Merry Christmas already mounted. Skew whiff, but already mounted. So just going to ink that up and stamp it down. There we go. Close that up while the ink dries. And bring in my classic label punch. Yes, classic label punch. And I'm punching this so that it's towards the exclamation mark end. And then just punch that out. And then take the piece we've punched out and pop pop it back into the punch. And just get it lined up so that it's even the other side and straight, and punch. So we end up with a smaller little piece. So to attach that, I'm just going to use a mini dimensional. So let's grab one of those and I'll pop it on one end only, and then that will sit over our ribbon. And it's as simple as that. And by having it so that it's loose, it does mean that if you want to take the ribbon off, you can. Although, obviously, because this is in a bow, if you want to put, in fact I will, I'll just sneak another one in the other side, because that will then keep the bow attached. So I'll take the... Nothing quite like changing your mind partway through. There we are. Then when I undo the bow, that will all stay together. So there you are, the smallest little project I think I've managed to come up with so far. I will neaten this up before we do photographs, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. This is retiring, this paper, and I think the stamp set is as well. Let me check. Dare I say, every time. Oh no, it looks like it's carrying over. Well, hey. So yeah, carrying over. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. It's just a bit of fun, little thing for your table, bearing in mind there's going to be a bazillion and one other things on your Christmas table. Quite nice to have something little. Obviously you could put a chocolate in there or something else, but I hope you enjoyed that. If you need any of the products, remember you've got until the 14th of December to order if you want delivery guaranteed by Christmas. That's going to be weather permitting, obviously, bearing in mind we have got this weird weather at the moment. But if you want a chance to get it before Christmas, now is the time to do it, and certainly before the 14th. If you want the Stamparatus, do remember that the reservation window for that is open, and that's on my online store as well. And that's click the online store link below, and you can reserve that. The sooner you reserve it, the sooner you get it, because they are going to be delivered middle of March in strict reservation order. So do remember that. And if you do order it on my online store or reserve it on my online store, send me a copy of your confirmation email and I will pop an extra something in the post to you. Other than that, have a super day and I will see you again very soon. Thanks a lot for watching.